Now, continuing in our discussion on payroll rollover or tax differences, where if if our government or if the tax laws change, and from maybe you had already run a payroll in January with the previous year's tax laws, and then in February the government say that we have new tax laws that are standard for the entire year, then you would of course need to calculate some differences for January. And in the previous video we went through how you can have that rollover automatically. Now there is another feature in Techlify HR called supplementary payrolls, and let's just take a look back at our January payroll. You'll see January 2025, it used the 2024 configuration, so you'll see 100,000 statutory deduction being here. And of course in our previous video we explained that you can have these statutory deductions roll over to February. Here you see Pat having 160,000. You can also create a supplementary payroll. Now let's select supplementary. You'll select the parent payroll, which will be January, fixed rated. And you'll notice the dates get set by default for you. We of course need to unselect John because John was not in that payroll. And let's hit save. And you'll see some weird numbers in your supplementary payroll. And why is that so? It's because what Techlify HR does for you on a supplementary payroll is that it calculates what the salaries should have been or should be in Jan payroll using the 2025 configuration. And then it subtracts those values in the parent payroll, which will be the original January payroll with the 2024 configuration. And here you would see the differences. So if I go to the pay sheet here, you will now see that for Pat, her taxable salary was reduced by $30,000 because we have $30,000 more on a statutory deduction. And you'll see that Pat overpaid PAYE by $10,000 and James overpaid PAYE by $8,744. And then you'll see, there's negative deduction and you need to pay these team members this amount of money. So you can actually use this as your way of knowing the difference, and if you wanted to pay out the difference as one-time payment to the team members and not have it roll over to their next payroll, you can use the supplementary payroll feature for this. What you can also do is, even if you created a rollover payroll as we did in February here, let's just go back to our February payroll. Yeah, as we did in February here, even though we have a payroll where the data is rolled over and you'll pay the values to the team members, you can still go ahead and create that supplementary payroll so that you can have these values in the case you need to submit these to GRA or use them on any statutory report. So that's a good use case and some of the benefits of having the supplementary payroll.